Yeah, XSplit isn't picking up VP4. I don't know what's going on, but this is what happens when you rush to do things. All day the match is set, then for some reason the match has disappeared, and then I come online to have a quick look in and the match is already getting played. I don't know what's going on. And I certainly don't know what's happened with VP4. Because I can't get it to show up in the stream. I don't know what's going on. Right, well, there's one other solution. That's the one solution. And we'll shove that to the bottom and get this to work. This is crazy. I don't know whether that's it. Let's see if that works. I didn't sleep in. I was watching the snooker because this match, as far as I was concerned, it was on earlier today. Then it's missing from the bracket. It's missing from the schedule. It was there all day. It was there last night. It disappears. So I go and watch the snooker, and then I come in, and suddenly the match has started. So I haven't a clue what's going on, and I don't know what. See, now my XSplit isn't picking up VP4 again. That's even stranger. But anyway, we're here. Stubbs arrived in the room. We're well into the first rack. Welcome to Tam. I think you're the only one that's discovered this. And LS3 match with Mark Shark. I don't know whether that ended up being a forfeit. Let me have a look. Because the match wasn't reset. I told Mark to contact Steve. Mark couldn't stay here. He'd been up most of the night. He had to take his mum to hospital, from what he told me. She's okay. But he's too tired to play. Let's have a quick look. And LS3 has been advanced through to play Mr. Fox, so the match wasn't reset. So I don't know whether Steve... Well, obviously he didn't get to see any message, or he didn't react in time. I don't know whether that'll stand, or whether it'll be opened up again. Well, Mark did turn up. Mark was here before the match started and told me that he was up most of the night and he couldn't play. And I asked him, I told him specifically, I said, look, have you contacted Steve and have you contacted LS3? And he said yes. So LS3 should be aware of the situation, as should Steve. But anyway, we've got Fast Eddie still short of 90 and Woody chasing him down. By the way, I left the snooker, I think it was 3-0 to Luca Bussell against Mark Allen. I think it's the first to 6. I'm not sure whether it is or not, but it wasn't looking good for Mark Allen when I left it. Watching it on that Chinese streaming channel, Yoku, it's a great quality stream. The only thing is the commentators are all Chinese as well, but you can get by with that. You can work it out yourself. But the stream quality is excellent because they're obviously taking the Eurosport feed. And I messaged Albinario earlier on in the day to get some feedback from him as regards what was happening between him and Wanwa, and I had no reply. I haven't checked Facebook for a few hours. Maybe he did reply between then and now, but I still don't know what's going on there, and I think the deadline's tomorrow for it. In fact, the deadline's tomorrow night at 1 minute past 10 our time. Meanwhile, Fast Eddie has got to 90 and he's blocked out with the 1 ball, so he's going to struggle to keep this run going. And he's going to immediately lose it. Well, that worked. Let's check if this works, because I set my little applause earlier on and see if that's saved this time. Yeah, that's working. But in the meantime, I've done something that XSplit doesn't detect VP. It does that occasionally, XSplit. I don't know what it is. I think it's VP4 that's a bloody problem, not XSplit. It just doesn't seem to want to pick it up. They should automatically pick any game that's running. It's set to auto-detect, and it's not auto-detected VP4 tonight. I don't know why. Welcome to WizKid. So Eddie's run to 90 didn't last long, and he's going to do it again. And Woody not able to take advantage. And he should have, because he was only, he's in 73. And he could have turned the tables and Eddie there, but I was too busy reading the chat again, I never noticed. Well, Woody's at the table now. And he didn't, I was just about to say, he doesn't want to push that one dead to the rail. He's fortunate he's got the shot in the 5 ball, but the 1 ball being on the rail just makes it a wee bit more awkward. Much better it being down in its spot. And of course, Woody needs to be aware of what's going on in the scoreboard before he makes the wrong move. Well, my intention was, good evening to LSC, I've just noticed. No, LS3. I told Mark to send you a message and let you know what had happened. Mark had been up all night to take his mum to hospital. And so the poor guy's knackered. And he came into the lobby earlier on in case you came in to try and get the match brought forward tonight. But obviously you weren't around. But I told him to send a message to Steve and yourself to let you know what was happening. So I don't know whether you've got a message in your inbox in VP4, but I told him to do it. And he said he had done it. And he was hoping to rearrange it, but whether Steve got the message or whether he did send a message or not, now we don't know, because the match has gone through the process and forfeited him. So basically the ball's in your court, whatever you want to do. Well, if you've both sent proposals, then it does come down to a coin toss. I don't know whether it comes down to how many proposals you sent each other, but if only one person is sending proposals, then you're the one that gets advanced. Now, this is what happens when you when you hang off actually sending proposals and arranging times. But obviously, what's happened is unforeseen. It would have went ahead if the circumstances hadn't been as they were with Mark. And then this is even weirder. I mean, when I looked at the bracket yesterday, there was these two matches on, and then when I came online, I got a message from Mark straight away. He'd already sent me a message, but he was PMing me in the lobby telling me what the deal was. But when I looked at the bracket, suddenly the Fast Eddie Woody match wasn't there anymore. And then I thought, what the hell is going on? So I went away and started watching the snooker. I had a quick look in the VP4 lobby just to see what was going on. And then the next thing I know, I can see the match has started. So what's happened with this pair, I don't know. The match was set for 8 p.m. It looks as if it started around 8 p.m. But why it disappeared off the bracket, I don't know. The match schedule had been opened back up, obviously at their request, for whatever reason. And then they turn up and then they decide to play. So that's got me baffled, that one. I'll need to find out the story behind that. Meanwhile, we've got Fast Eddie still short of 90. And Woody still short of 80. It seems to be taking an eternity for either of them to get to 90. There's a danger here if he's going to play the carom from the 3 to the 1. And I think he's doing the sensible thing. And then again, you've got to hit the ball. And Eddie, well, he's looking around. I don't know why. Well, he certainly wants to pot the one ball. And if he can, maybe nick one of the other balls. He could have tried to run into the 3 ball there and get the 2 points and take him to 90. Well, that's him there now. The question is, can he keep them? And there go the points. Back to 88 again. Well, I think in the end here, Fast Eddie might end up paying the price. He did even from the time I've just joined, and that's going to scratch as well, I think. Well, this is a comedy of errors. Well, it's a strange. There's strange goings on here today, Slim. There was 2 matches supposed to be on. The one with LS3 and Mark Shark was supposed to start half an hour before this one. This one went missing on the bracket. The match looked as if it had been it had been reset. It was supposed to go at 8 o'clock, the top of the hour. It's been on for probably about 40 minutes. I wasn't here when it started because I assumed there wasn't going to be a match tonight. And suddenly these 2 guys have decided to turn up and play. And why that happened, I do not know. I don't know the story behind it. Mark Shark couldn't make the match tonight because his mum fell ill during the night. He had to take her to hospital, and he'd been up to all hours, so he's really tired. And LS3 has been advanced. Why this match disappeared in the bracket and got reset, I don't know, so no doubt Eddie will explain at some point. But this first rack already feels like it's taken an eternity because there's errors all over the place, scratches. His score's gone up and down like a yo-yo. But meanwhile, Woody's got himself to 92. He's kept his points. And it's now a race to the finishing line in the first rack. And talking of the bracket, I presume there's nothing on it now. And the other thing is that Tam and VP Monster have arranged their match for next Friday, which is at 5:30 p.m. Now, just while we're doing that, I'm just going to check because I'm pretty certain. I think Friday. Let me just check my roster for next week. I'm fairly certain I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday morning. If I can find where the damn thing is. Hang on. Well, Steve's arrived in the room. He's probably in Discord. Hang on a minute. Steve maybe can answer a few questions. We'll be back in a second. Just booting up Discord. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening.
Now,
I was here at 2:30, but that thing didn't happen, and I didn't notice that these guys had decided to play now. I'd reset their match.
Well, that's what I'm baffled about because I decided, right, well, they've decided to have to reschedule the match for some reason, so I went and watched the snooker. And I thought I'll have a quick pop in VP4, see if there's anything doing, and call it quits for the night. And then suddenly I see these 2 guys are playing. They probably started at the time they originally set, and I don't know what's going on.
It was a funny thing because Sam asked me to reset it because he had set some crazy 6 a.m. time with Redback, and then he asked me to reset it, and I'm not. I was confused. I just reset it.
Right. Well, what do you know about the LS3 Mark Sharp match then?
Well, I know Mark Shark had been in the lobby earlier, and I saw him commenting that he'd tried to reach her and couldn't get a hold of her. I guess she'd been on holiday and hadn't been checking emails or messages, so he because he couldn't play. So he wanted to reschedule it. So, I mean, I can reset that one too. I mean, that's it, but, you know, both players got to want to do it.
Well, Mark Shark sent me a message on VP4, and I read that, and he told me that he had to take his mum into hospital during the night, so he was up all night waiting and tests getting done, and he said she's okay, but he's not. He's too tired to play. And I said to him, I said, well, I presume you've notified Steve, and I presume you've notified LS3. And he said he had done, so he should have sent you a message, and he sent LS3 a message. Presumably, he wants to go ahead with it. I don't know when the deadline is for their match. If it's tomorrow at 10 p.m.
I think
10 p.m. my time.
It's tomorrow. Let's see here. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
5 p.m. your time, right? So the ball's in LS3 court if she's around tomorrow. And we don't know what's happening with Albie and Wanwa, because I sent a message to Albie on Facebook. I don't know whether he's replied to me to see what, to hear Albinario's story as to the times that he's proposed to Wanwa. So I don't know what's going on there.
Let me take a look at that. Let's see. Albinario proposed Sunday at 3:30 p.m. my time, so that would be 8:30 your time.
Well, it'll probably will go ahead at that time then on Sunday, because
Wanwa had proposed Friday 2 times, and
Albie wasn't here, and Wanwa was in the lobby. But I told Wanwa, I said, look, Albie's hardly ever in VP4 on Friday, because he's usually working, I think.
Albie before had proposed Thursday or Sunday. And let's see. And
good evening to Semi-Pro.
Well, Albinario had proposed back on the 10th, Wednesday, December 14th. Wanwa had proposed Thursday, December 8th. These guys have been going back and forth for a long time.
Well, I think they'll probably play on Sunday night at 8:30, in which case I'll be long gone by then. I won't be there for it. That's 2 a.m. starting Monday morning, so as long as you get it played, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's just been hanging out there. So Albinario's got a proposal in right now from about 8 hours ago almost now, and nothing from Wanwa. This is one of these situations where both these guys are in Europe. I mean, you would think that they'd be able to come up with a time.
Well, as far as I know, they're in exactly the same time zone, so there's no issues there. It's just availability, and of course, the closer you get to Christmas, the more things that people get involved with, and that's the other drawback.
Yeah, it's difficult this time of year. But the good news is we're down to not that many players left, so hopefully we can get this thing put together. The thing is it's difficult to play after the time, especially in the losers bracket, because I can go back and edit things in, but the problem is that if you miss the deadline, then you play after that. The problem is it gives less time for the next person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a person that missed the deadline and your match was played and I edited it in, and then you can't come to a time agreement with the next guy, you're going to lose that match because you already, used up some of the time that was available because you hadn't played your match.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really best not to get in that situation, because you put yourself in a place where you could end up having to forfeit the next one.
By the way, you're watching what's going on here. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke.
It's that bad, huh?
Well, past Eddie just scratched and potted the 5 ball back to 98, 96.
Now, is that really a picture of Woody? Is that his picture?
Well, he looks like a bloody terrorist, it has to be said.
I know this isn't a picture of Sam. so I know this one isn't. What do you mean it looks like a terrorist?
Well, I
would bet hands down if that's him, that's the best beard on VP4.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
An awesome beard. How can you not like that beard?
It definitely looks like a terrorist to me. Welcome to Brain Fill Out, and anybody else that's turned up.
He's probably Scottish.
Well, this first rack is, I presume it started at 8 o'clock, so it's now 45 minutes old.
It says he's from England. He looks more like an American, to tell you the truth, but it says he's from England.
Yes, he is from England, yeah. Well, there's another scratch, or foul, or whatever it was. No carom.
Well, I mean,
you got to go. You got to. I don't know. He's going to try and. Is he trying to draw this to the 1-5 ball? Has to go out of the way. That was a bit of good fortune.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's just pool players resorting to drawing and following all the time rather than, playing multiple rails.
Now, you can overcut the 5 and come off the rail and out to the 3, or you can do that if you can get it. That's good.
There we go. That's actually a.
Well, he's got to be out. He's got to be out now. This is a cinch. This. I mean, you just got to brush it.
This is tight.
Oh no, he didn't get it thin enough. You got to get it.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it thick enough. That was too thin. That was a little tricky there, missing the kiss and hitting it fat enough. Yeah, he hit it too thin. That went to the long rail.
Now, see, Eddie's gone all out to get the carom again. No thought about safety in the 1. That's putting all your eggs into one basket. He should have bided his time there and just put the 1 ball. Try and work out a strategy for a safety.
I mean, after seeing that match last night with Fox and who was it? Fox and Cobra, where there was a lot of safety play on the 1. I really saw the value of it. I mean, I haven't played Cowboy much, but I saw the value of it, how those guys played it.
Well, you've got to use that strategy. I mean, if you're 100 to 94 down, it's pointless unless you've got a cinch carom to get you started that you go for something crazy like a 3-railer, because you're probably just leaving yourself wide open and giving the guy a gift out shot. So I tend to use my head in that circumstance. It doesn't always work, but you've got to try and just give yourself a lifeline.
No, this is a pretty easy carom here. This is the same one I saw somebody have the other day. It's stun it with a little right English. This is really about a half ball hit with right English.
So the right English is to check it in the rail.
You could even roll this. Maybe a teeny bit of stun. It's no the right English, or not the right English, left English. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
just a little running English. And it's not. This is not a hard shot, because the ball's going to open up off the rail and it's going to lengthen. The cue ball is going to lengthen. There you go. And that's like a guaranteed carom.
Now he's got a chance here.
Yeah, well, Woody had 2 chances to win on the 1 ball and wasn't able to get there, and he could end up losing this game because of that.
Now, this is a circumstance here where Eddie's backed himself in a corner now. Look at where the 1 ball is. If he goes anywhere up the table on the right side, he's lost the rack. He should be playing.
He's going to stun over off the 5 or draw off the 3, one or the other. He looks like he's going forward, which...
He should be overcutting the 1, sending to the short rail and running for cover. That's what he should be doing. I'm telling you right now, that's what he should be doing.
I don't think this is a hard carom.
Well, it's not. I'm worried where the one ball is, and if this is me, there's no way I'm shooting this. I'm cutting the one to the long rail onto the top rail and ducking for cover down below here.
So you're saying that you think the carom's too risky?
Yeah, carom's too risky where the one ball is.
Well, I don't like this shot because he could scratch off the one and lose his points.
Like that, you mean?
Yeah,
almost.
Just about did it.
Now
I didn't like that shot at all.
He's got away with it, but now he's got himself set with an easy out.
This is a little touchy. I would hit this a little right English maybe to help it.
Can't miss
or maybe
this.
left English to help it. Yeah, you wouldn't think you can miss this.
Well, I don't think I'd ever miss this because you've played this umpteen times. I don't like he's taking far too long over it. You either see the shot or you don't.
Well, I mean, it is a little touchy on the hit.
That'll do it. Just
there we go.
Dead weight to get it in. So that's 50 minutes for the first rack. I hope it's not like this the rest of the night.
Well, Woody had his chances and couldn't get there.
Well, after my rack with VP Monster yesterday, he said he'll finish the tournament and he's going for another hiatus. That's what he does. He disappears from VP4 for like 3 months at a time and then he suddenly appears again. So Tam and VP Monster are going next Friday. So I'll be able to get that because I finish on Friday at noon. Having started or having got up at 2 a.m, I'll start at 4, finish at noon, and then that's me for 3 days. I've got, obviously, we don't do a pick on Christmas Eve. We're off Christmas Day and Boxing Day.
Yeah, it's doubtful I'm going to be able to do next Friday.
So, oh, wait a minute. I thought that was going to fluke in the side, but the run is 11.
Yeah, you would think that 11's not good enough. I mean, maybe once in a while, but...
So that's the thing about Cowboy. It's a strange game where you can... I mean, I think it's strange in the sense that some days you can just get runs together and do the other thing and keep your points. And then there's other days where, you just cannot. Well, here we go again. There we are.
Yeah, this is like... this is kind of a comedy of errors there.
Now, what is this? Wait a minute. Here we go. Let me have a read at this. This is a nice story to read in the chat. Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. And you're talking to a Scotsman here, Savco, whatever your name is. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on or off, customize. Go to dodgehype.com. Dodgehype. Yeah, well, with the greatest respect, thanks for your offer, but unless it's for free, I ain't interested. So, dodgehype.com. I suppose it's better than porn links.
Oh, it's doggyhype.com.
Yeah. I prefer to pronounce it Dodge Hype.
It's a view bot. Yeah, it's just, it's another way of...
Yeah, there are sad people that pay for... they pay money to get subscribers.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
No way I'm doing that.
I mean, I could pay to get people on VP4, but it's more effective on mobile than it is on the PC.
He's going outward. But
I'm beginning to think neither one of these guys is ever going to run 30 points.
Well, if he can get this 5 in, he's coming back the way. There's no harm in going forward and coming down behind the 1 and leaving the 5 to the 3. See, this is going. It's going about it the wrong way because he's never in good shape. There's not a shot here he's in good shape yet. And that's what you end up doing. Just 6 points or whatever it is, and then end a visit. If he'd played the 5 into the corner, where's my donut? If he'd cut that 5, he was overcutting the 5 because it was a blind pocket. But if he'd went forward and come around behind the 1, he'd have 5 to the 3.
Well, I know in real life that shot that he just shot the bank and trying to play the carom, I would have never missed that carom because the balls are pretty close together. I might have missed the 3 ball, but I wouldn't have missed the carom, and he was on carom.
No, I don't know that was a play for the 3 or a play for the 1, but it got neither.
Well, he played smart there, played for an easy carom. Now he's got a 5 ball, and then that's a little trickier. I think he's going to play the 3.
You overcut that. You cut the 5 and you run over to the left. You've got a 3 to the 1 or a 5 to the 3 to the 1. That's the one you've got to play.
Yeah, that's what it looks like he's going to do.
The only thing he doesn't want to do is block himself out by the 5 ball and make it a wee bit tougher. He needs to keep going left.
See, I don't like playing to the 1 ball at this angle because it's too easy to scratch.
No, he's going to have one of these long close follows.
He's funny. That's why I didn't like the 5, because he needed to be on the other side of it. He's on the wrong side of it. And here we go. Oh. Boy. See, he hits that a little thicker and he's scratching.
Further to the left, he was fine.
And again, why is that such a big scratch? Because it's the angle's like a little more than 30. So that's the whole thing I'm talking about is the target is huge when you're around 30 degrees. And, that 30 to 40 degree range, if you've got a scratch like that's that kind of angle, you're just asking for it.
Welcome to Tommy.
He hit the ball super thin. Well, look at this.
Welcome to Spud.
Is he going to get lucky? Look at that. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now that was lucky. There's no doubt about that one. That was a roll there. And he's going to be in position to make this 3 and then have an easy 5-3 carom.
Well, 2 rails back into the middle of the table would be the order of the day here. Not 22 rails, just 2 rails. That's just crazy.
Yeah, why is he hitting it so hard? I just don't get it. I just don't understand sometimes how players think.
Well, that's called not thinking. Make your life simple.
Oh, and he barely got that carom. Well, he's been consistent in how he's going after these caroms. He keeps getting a cue tip too low, getting too much draw on the cue ball.
Well, he can go for, I don't know what the angle's like, but he can go for the 2 and 1 shot, pot the 5, get into the 1 ball for the open table next, and now he's left himself difficult again.
And I don't understand why he hit that one so easy.
I would always be.
He could have hit that harder and come back out on the other side of the 5.
Yeah, but I would have also probably, if I had the angle, squeezed that one to the bottom rail and went into the 1.
Yeah, and he failed to get the hit.
Well, the run is 23.
And he almost got to 30.
The lead is nothing much. So 1 to 5. And again, you want to hit the 1/2 ball at either side.
Who are these guys? Who's playing them out of this bracket? So, the loser between Albinaria and Wanwa plays one of these guys, the winner of this match. So those guys, those guys have to be salivating if they're watching this.
Well, I don't think they've anything to fear. I mean, this has got all the hallmarks of the two of them just showing up in the lobby and deciding that they're going to go ahead and play it with absolutely no practice whatsoever. They haven't had a warm-up by the look of it.
I don't know. I've watched Fast Eddie play a few matches, and he just seems erratic. Like he's not really quite sure where the cue ball's going.
And now he's funny. This is a toughie. And Woody's not taking his time to get himself set at all there.
No, he shot that pretty fast, which there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're making them. But that wasn't even close. That was way over the cut.
Well, again, to me, the easier one was to get out to the right side. This is still one of these awkward post follows where the 3-ball needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, I don't like this.
And it might kick the 5, or he's going thin, and he's missed them both. I think. Did he get that?
No.
Yeah. Well, right. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to put the heating off before I forget.
Players that are getting consistent breaks. Well, yeah, I mean, consistently big ones. Getting consistently breaks of 8 or 10 isn't going to win anything. If you're getting consistently 50s and 60s, you got a pretty good chance. So I responded to your Captain Obvious statement with a Captain Obvious statement of my own.
Well, I can say one thing probably for certain, that this will be my last streamed match, not necessarily of 2022, because I'll be doing the TAM VP Monster match next Friday. But I certainly won't be doing anything between now and next Friday, unless a match was set for middle of the afternoon my time, which is unlikely, because anything beyond that, no way.
Eddie just did it again. He played a shot where the cue ball is, further back on the line than it needs to be, and he missed the ball, and he's done that since I've really been paying attention 3 times. Yeah. It's like he thinks the cue ball's going forward of the line more than it is.
No, Tom, you need all the support you can get. You're the only Scot left in the tournament. I'm in your corner, totally impartial, of course.
The problem with playing that shot really easy like that is this situation. Okay, well, you can always take the stub approach. I mean, he plays it very delicately, and the problem is now he's locked up against the ball. I mean, it seems like anytime you have that situation where you're an alternate and you're on the carom, you don't want to gently roll into the carom ball. I mean, not like where you're rolling into it and the cue ball and the carom ball are ending up, under an inch apart.
I would have took the 3 there, because I was then guaranteed the carom. Although he took the 5 and trying to go 5 to 3, but didn't get the 5 in the hole.
Well, from what I've seen so far, I think Sam should win this match. He's not playing wonderfully, but I think he's playing better than Woody is.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing in here. I mean, these guys are playing like, when you get to where we are in the tournament, these guys are playing like players who are there making up the numbers. They're looking like they're at a point in the tournament where they've outstayed their welcome. they're not doing anything so far that is going to scare anybody else in the tournament.
Eddie could have had a lot bigger runs. He's made consistently the same type of miss on the carom, and that's a good thing, because if you're consistently missing the same way, like getting the cue ball on the line too thick, whether you're drawing it or rolling it, then that's an easy adjustment, because you're hitting good shots. You're just consistently a little bit behind the line, and you can adjust for that. And once you adjust for it, then you're going to be hitting all those shots.
Well, Spud Boy, your idea of fun, especially watching this. Me and Tam tend to call it a mild form of torture. Good. Me and Tam played a game today, and I don't know. I got a 40-odd scratched. Tam was well in the lead, scratched umpteen times. I was almost dead and buried. I almost pinched it at the end. And that rack lasted for about, it seemed to last an eternity. I was desperate to get my dinner. Is there any...
I think the high run for this whole match is 23.
Yeah, see, if we had that in the start, we could actually tell you that, Steve, but as we don't, then we're none the wiser. We've just got to write it down. Hint.
Semi-pro, I would just look online. You mentioned Darren Alton. I'll tell you another good place to look is Billiard Brothers. That link I sent you, Fedor Gorst doing that. That's Billiard Brothers. They had a Facebook page. It had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they still do, because I'm on that website. They've had live streams and stuff on their channel.
Well, he's looking for exercises. He calls them routines, but nobody calls them routines. Maybe the English call them that.
Yeah, the Mexicans definitely
call them exercises. The Americans call them practice drills. The English have to be different. They always have to call it something different.
No, Steve.
Even the thing is, Hugh, is even if it's the same word, they pronounce it different, like schedule.
We have everything that's done in the English language is correct in this side of the Atlantic. It's you guys that bugger it up with your bloody stupid way of spelling colour, COLOR.
Okay. I mean, what's the let me give you here. This is a great example. What's the definition of a routine? What's a routine? Give me a definition for a routine.
A routine is something that you do on a regular basis.
Exactly.
Go to work. Or...
Exactly. Okay. So how does a practice drill turn into routine? It's a practice drill. You call it a routine. I mean that.
Well, no. Hang on a minute here, Steve. Don't start putting words into other people's mouths. Semi-pro calls it a routine.
He's English. I'm assuming that's what you guys all call it.
You're using you in a collective form, as in you're including the Scots in this.
I'm including everybody over there on that island. I'm including everybody.
Yeah. Americans call football soccer, but they call football because they're used to these big girls with the crash helmets. So that's what they call football. These big overpaid pansies. Anyway,
well, you're in a minority there, because most people in the UK love American football.
Yeah, well, as I say, I went and watched it. For a few months, but
anyhow, no, you can get all kinds of there. Or if you want, somebody that has a ton of them is Sylvia, because she practices the Germans, and the Germans, that's all they do is practice drills. She's got tons of them.
Oh, Eddie now, 84 is he, to 51. Two nations separated by a common language. The language was fine till the Americans got hold of it.
Well, you know what? when the Mexican said to me, "Oh, it's an exercise," at least that made sense. It is an exercise. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see how routine equates to exercise or practice.
I'll tell you something.
Drill.
It's a cold day in hell when Steve, when an American appreciates the Mexicans better than he appreciates the British for the way they describe a practice drill.
I mean, exercise at least makes sense. If you look it up in the dictionary, you go, "Oh, okay." I don't have a problem with different word being used, but I have a problem with a word being used that is not a good definition for what's going on.
I'll tell you what got me confused. When I was watching. I've seen all the old episodes of Star Trek. I could probably act to myself. And there's one episode, the one where, and I can't think of the word now. I'm trying to tell you the story, but I can't think of the word. The word will come into my head. But that was a word that got me puzzled because I'd never heard it before. It's the one where, what's her name? It's the one where they land on a planet and there's a guy who's in charge of the library. But the library doesn't have books in it. It has little video discs that you put onto a little machine that lets you look at the video.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right,
episode.
You remember that one? And that's where, what do you call them? Spock and McCoy end up in an Arctic country, an Arctic land. And anyway, to cut a long story short, Spock is asking questions of the librarian, and he asks, and you have to go through the Atavachron. That's the word. That's one of the words I was trying to think. You have to go through the Atavachron first before you get sent to wherever you want to go, because when you go wherever you want to go, you can't come back. At least that's the story. And
well, of course you don't understand that word. That's a word they made up.
Yeah, well, that's a word they made up. But I'm getting to the point in a wee minute, Steve. Spock says I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not using the proper script and dialogue that was said in the episode. But Spock says to the guy, "Oh, what do you call that machine there? What does that do?" And the guy says, "Oh, that's the Atavachron." And Spock's answer was, "Interesting nomenclature. I've never heard that word ever used." Now,
You've never heard nomenclature used?
Never. Not in a month of Sundays have I ever.
Really?
And no. And I thought to myself, I bet you if I go and look at a dictionary, that's perfectly understandable, that word, and it means, probably means description or title or name for something.
Nomenclature is a pretty common word.
Well, see, you say it's common. There's not a person I've ever heard in the UK ever use that. But anyway, I heard it in Star Trek. 9
points. Eddie just lost 9 points with that one.
I told you I remember weird things about television programs, and that's always stuck in my mind. That.
Well, I was thinking that the story you were telling was more interesting than this match until it turned into a 10-minute story. Then I was thinking, man, I better go watch the match.
Well, that shows you how bored this is getting. Well, I don't even know the score. Oh, well, Eddie's still in 84.
Well, Eddie just lost 9 points. Eddie lost 9 points because he did his normal Eddie thing of like turning the balls loose, and five ball went like 3 rails and went in the pocket, when he was on the caroms.
Now, Brainfillout says, Bedhead says, even I've heard it. You're only saying that, Bedhead, to try and make yourself look as if you're clever.
And he's Swedish. He's not. English is not his base language, and he knows what nomenclature is.
The Swedes know nothing more than raw fish and saunas. That's all they know about. They know nothing else.
That is not an unusual. That is not an unusual word at all.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, let's just describe it another way. My vocabulary doesn't go into the great depths like that. And Stubb says, Fast Heady is under your computer desk, Woody. Don't let him distract you, Kay.
Who knows? Who knows how much weed he smoked tonight? I don't know where that came from. But Okay.
Well, now it looks as if anybody can win this rack again. It's who wants it.
Well, see, when Fast Eddie does a shot like this, okay, it's hard to lose your points. But when he starts blasting balls around, and that's part of the problem with relying on those force follows and draw shots, is that, you start hitting the ball hard to get things to happen, and, you're turning the object ball loose, and next thing you know, you don't have any points.
See, I'm looking, seeing situations like this, I'm looking for a wee bit of creativity. See a shot and measure it up and go for it. Rather than blasting. This actually might get to the one. Nope.
It's going to be long. It's going to open up. The thing is you got to know the line you're running an object ball on, and you don't want to run it more than 2 or 3 rails. You start turning that object ball loose, and it's going to be tough to predict where it's going, the 4th or 5th or 6th rail, unless you really know what you're doing.
Well, here we go.
Well, Woody could be winning this. This is set up pretty well. Yeah, he's got 2 balls that he can't shoot. So let's see what he's going to do here. He's still going to try to shoot one of those. Play off the 1 ball or play to the 1 ball.
Yeah.
The 5, 2 rails to the 1 is okay. The 1, 2 rails to one of these. Yeah. Woody seems like he's got a reasonable feel for those kind of shots. I've seen him shoot a couple of them. I think he should be relying on them more.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Now this one isn't too bad to go forward on because you don't have to hit it hard, and it's just near impossible to miss it when their 2 balls are close together like that.
Yeah, but you're hitting it hard enough to get that 5 down there to the 1, and that's... it's a bit awkward. He's over the 3 ball, but he just needs to chip the 5 and bump the 1.
Yeah. You just don't want to leave yourself pegged on the 1, which he didn't.
Now, he's got to go thin on the right side or double kiss. He's going for the double kiss. He could have went thin on the right side and still bumped to 5.
Yeah, those thin shots are, those are a little trickier.
But at success, he's had a run of 8. He's on 95. And the 3 ball needs to miss the 1, which it hasn't.
There's a lot of hit and hoping going on in this match.
Right English, very thin. Yeah, that's just going to get there.
Good shot, and he set himself up well here. This is just a little dink.
Look where the 1 is as well.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Oh, don't do that one.
He's bringing... Well,
I would not have done that one.
Well, I would have, but I would have hit it harder to bring the 5 back up.
No, I would have come off the 3 into the 5 and left the cue ball above the 5, where you could go back from 5 to 3 again.
That's a nice shot.
This looks like a nice shot here, and the speed's nice and everything.
My applause button's working again, folks. I got it fixed. Oh dear, hang on a minute.
What the hell this is?
Well, this is an early Christmas present.
He was lucky he did not scratch there, because he was on the wrong side of the pocket from where he wanted to be. It was so short.
Now, if Eddie gets lucky here...
He hit it so bad, he didn't scratch.
If Eddie gets lucky here, he could be in business. He needs to get really thin in the 1. Now, he needs to chip the right side of the 3 as we look to get to the 1.
I don't see how this is so wonderful.
Can he? I don't think he can. Let me have a look. I don't think he can.
He's just going to have to back this up and clear the 3 ball out of there, or he can knock the 1 up table. This is not gonna. That's never going to work.
No, there was not enough room.
You know why he's looking at it. You should know right off the bat that that's not going to work unless you want to put the cue ball in the pocket.
Now, how hard's he hitting the 3? Because this 3 can head up, down. Oh no, he's miscued. Would you believe it?
Well, all that, looking around and thinking about it, I mean, no wonder he screwed up. I mean, he took so much time on that. I mean, he was obviously confused. And the first thing that happens when you get confused is you screw up. That happens in real life too. You sit there and you look at it and look at it and look at it.
Well, 2 and 1. If he gets it too wide, he could chip the 3, but he's got to go for 2 and 1 here. Got to take the risk.
I don't know. I'd probably come off the 1 to the 3 because I don't like the looks of this shot.
Yeah, it's risky, but
it's too easy. It's too easy to make the 1 ball. That's what I don't like about it.
Well, I'm thinking I'm 8 behind. I'm just going to go for it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's too easy to make the 1 ball or scratch.
Oh.
Yeah, he got away with it.
Well, he's going to jack up here and stun into the 3. He needs to dig into this.
You just got to get the 1 ball going straight back and forth. It's all line.
Yeah, he's drawn it. He's not stunning it. You notice that?
But no, that's the same thing he's done every time.
Watch.
He's behind the line.
Watch
this. Same thing every time.
See, he's drawn it. You see the curve in the ball there. I mean, he's not stunning it. He's drawn it.
No, actually, he was in front of that line. He overcut the 1 ball. That was a problem. He back cut it too much. But that would have worked if he hit it easier. I mean, the cue ball is going to curve off the ball. You got to know that it's going to curve. So if he hit that easier, the curve would have happened quicker, and it would have hit the ball.
See, I would have. Well, I mean, he got partially behind the 1 ball there, but he didn't really get behind it. It's going to be hard work here for Eddie unless he can get a roll. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but that certainly wasn't the one.
That's the one where he's behind the line right there. He's done that a lot.
Well, this is,
and I think he's getting confused because the last shot he took, he got forward of the line because he hit it so hard and didn't give the draw a chance to take. So this time he's thinking, I need to put more draw on it, but that wasn't the problem.
Oh well, that's a terrible miss there by Woody. Because there's no way he should have been missing that. But going back to the shot that Eddie just played, he's trying to change the laws of physics there, as Scotty would say, and he's not protecting the 1 ball. I'll tell you something. He might get out of this rack yet and win it because Woody there had a sitter on that 1 ball to get out.
Well, Woody had trouble in the first game getting out. He had 2 chances to win.
Yeah, well, that there was one he should never be missing.
I'm not sure what he's doing here. I guess he's playing 2 rails to the 3.
He might be going left side of the 5 to the 1.
Well, I like coming off the 3, 1 rail to the 5.
Oh, yeah, it's going
this way. I don't like that at all. He's playing safe is what he's doing.
Well, he's listening to the stream now. He's decided he's going to try, but he hasn't got cover.
I'm not sure he's safe.
And, again, look at where the 1 ball is. That can't stay there.
No.
He's got to get the 1 ball out. The problem is,
you can get it out right now. You just play off the 3 ball here. You got to make sure you don't bank 3 in the other side pocket. That's the only thing you have to avoid because this 1 ball is actually pretty easy to get out of here. You hit it on the top side of it. It's coming out.
Yeah, but he's got to get the hit.
I think the tricky part is where is the 3 ball going because the line he needs to take is not good.
Well, that's right, Tom. That's right. I mean, you do. I mean, this is what you do in commentary, especially in this game. I see shots that the other players see it differently. Most of my shots are a lot of them are risky.
Well, why did he do that? If he was going to make the 1, why didn't he try to use the 3 ball to hook it?
Well,
he could have made the 1 and tried to get behind the 3 so that he didn't give this up.
Well, why didn't he play the 3 to the 1 and chip it in the edge? And there's another miss. I mean,
Well, the 3-1 was a little tricky because the side pocket was in the way.
I'll tell you something though. Eddie is looking at what Woody's doing with these outshots, and Eddie's decided, well, Woody can't get out, so I'll just bide my time here and try and just chip away and chip away. But sooner or later, he's going to leave it dead set, and there's no way that Woody can not get out. You're just going to run out of your running. And again, he's done it again.
Look at this, though. He's going to get lucky. Oh, it almost hit it.
Again, he's drawing balls when he's not using the rail properly and using the hit angle off the ball just to get the line off the rail. He's trying to draw to them all the time. And there you go. That's what you get for that.
Well, Tam, I think you're right. Although I will say one thing: there's a better way to do things in a lot of situations. And when I say better in quotes, what I mean is that you want to make your target as big as possible. And there may be more than one way of doing things in certain situations, but the one thing that never changes is there's a way of doing things where the target's big. Now, there may be shots where you have more than one choice on a big target, but when people choose small targets, that's just not a good way of doing things because small targets are hard to hit.
Well, you mean the example of that is last night. How many long force follows did Mr. Fox have? Dozens he had. Was he overly successful with them? No, he wasn't. That's why he lost, because he couldn't string runs together. He was leaving tough shots to recover each time. Whereas on the other nights he played, he looked great in the caroms and everything, but he just could not score, and he was under pressure from Cobra. I mean, he did well to get back to 2-2. I'll give him that. And then he had no chance in the final rack.
I'll explain it in numpty terms. When you choose a 89-degree length of the table cut over a straight in shot from a foot away, you're choosing a very small target over a very big target. And I mean, yeah, that's Captain Obvious, but when I watch people play caroms and they, the way they're playing to small targets, and maybe it's not quite as obvious in a lot of situations, but that's why I posted that link yesterday to Dr. Dave's stuff on the 30-degree angle and half ball hits, because that's how you make the target big, is understanding that. And I'm just not seeing as many players do that. If Yamaguchi Turo was playing in this tournament, he'd open some eyes because he understands that.
Yeah, I agree with Slim as well, because and it does look like that sometimes. When you're really trying to get yourself. Sometimes you struggle for 10 minutes. You might have played 3 or 4, 5 shots to try and get yourself in reasonable shape in this game. Like when you're playing this force follow here for the carom, the object here is just to leave a ball in play so you've got a pot. And now this 5 ball is going to an angle where he's got to cut it in. 9 times out of 10 you'd expect to pot it. But when he plays this 5 ball, where's the cue ball going? That's what I'm asking. See, now he's leaving himself a long force follow again, or a very thin shot.
There's nothing wrong with force follows, but playing position on him is tough.
No, but look what happens. He's going thin.
Well, what I'm saying is that the area that you have to put the cue ball to have a good force follow shot is a small area in a lot of situations. So if you're playing for this little small area, I don't care who you are. You can be Albinario, and you're not going to have a lot of success getting the cue ball in that spot consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, when you're talking about, play above the line and you have an easy carom to the 5 ball, see, that makes sense. And the reason why it makes sense is because the whole huge area you can put that cue ball and have an easy carom.
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to play shape for a forced follow, yeah, fine. If you fall on it sometime, or you have a stop shot where it's automatic, then that's fine. Or the balls are real close together and it's easy, that's fine. But when you're getting these long length of the table ones, the spot that you can be is very small, so it's difficult to play shape for that.
Now this 3-ball just gets dropped in dead weight. This is what he should be doing, because he's played the combo, and now he's just hoping he gets a lucky roll where the cue ball ends up, and he'll still have a follow up shot, which he does.
Well, but this is what I see playing pool a lot. I've got friends. I've got a friend that's like, I call him a real weak A player or super strong B. He's right in that level, where he can run out sometimes, and he's a good player. He's got a good stroke. He understands how to move the cue ball, but he turns the thing loose all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, the problem is you'll never have any consistency on running out, because you're relying on luck too much. You're going to snooker yourself. Bad things are going to happen. And I'll tell you, the hallmark of that is a bar player. See, there's guys that play pretty good on a bar table that don't play good on a big table. And the reason why is because they're not good with a cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically the reason why. Because on a bar table, you can get away with it. I mean, it's easy to make balls. Even a long rail bank is easy. So, if you're a real good shot maker and you're cue ball suspect, you can play pretty good on a bar table. As soon as you get on a big table, then all of a sudden you can't. And that's what we're seeing here with Eddie a lot, is he's turning everything loose with no plan. And, if things roll right, then you're wonderful. But when things don't roll right, then it's going to not look good. And I think that's what One Pocket Slim was saying about, make it up as you go along. That's sort of what's happening.
That was not a good shot either. Why he didn't just pot the 5 and draw back 2 or 3 inches on the left side here, he would have had an easy carom. Now he's got another awkward one. This is feather edge.
And these kind of caroms, these kind of caroms you can miss.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So again, he played that wrong. He had the 5-ball on the spot. He was this side here in the 5-ball. So you pot the 5, you draw back 3 inches. There's the 1-3. You can never miss it. And he goes follow through, ends up straight pretty much. To me, that is obviously staring you in the face that you play the simple shot.
If you're playing right, everything should look simple. And I think billiards is a little deceiving, because people see the cue ball go 2 or 3 rails and they think it's not simple, but it really is. If you're doing a half ball hit and going 2 or 3 rails, that's a very simple shot. And if you don't think it is, then you need to practice billiards more, because it really is. And it's just like pool. The guys that play really good, they don't shoot crazy shots. The only time they shoot crazy shots is when they come to the table and they're left with something crazy. When they're playing and they're under control, they're going to make the game look really simple. If you're making a game look really hard, then you're not that good a player.
Well,
as a matter of fact, when I'm in the pool room and I see somebody that makes everything look simple, that's the guy I am not asking to play.
Mm-hmm. So 3-ball and then a 3-5, no problem.
Yeah, and that's, that's
sorry, I'm at the wrong end of the table.
Well, but that's simple too. That was simple too.
Oh.
I mean, you see these guys do the right things a lot of times. So, it's like, that they're capable of thinking that way.
Well, Woody's played a lot more. Woody's played a lot more than Fast Eddie, Tam. He plays in that 10-ball. That Cowboy on the 10-footer at 9:30 at night a lot of times. Well, not a lot of times, but he's played it more often.
Now, see, this is easy from the 3 to 5 if you understand how the cue ball is going to roll off that 3. Oh,
yeah, just in a
the
pot.
ball. That was a pocket. But see how the cue ball rolled towards the 5 ball? I mean, that was an easy carom.
I'm gonna
And
chip
that
it.
kind of carom you just played isn't that easy. And that, it's.
Well, look at what he's left. Fast Eddie's came to the table twice and had nothing from Woody, the way the balls have ended up. And Eddie's got nothing here other than a bank if he wants, or he can try and spin to the 3 or 5.
He can shoot the 5 ball.
Well, it's nowhere near easy. So Woody made 20, Eddie made none. Woody's got a whatever that is of a lead, because I can't count it this time of night, and it's getting bigger.
Well, Tam's saying favor Eddie by the stats, but Eddie's not playing like that right now. I mean, Woody is not doing anything wonderful. I mean, Eddie is just doing less. And that really was not a good place to put the cue ball.
Everything's hard work. Everything is hard work.
There's just not a lot of simplicity to it.
Well, you've got to get the 3 on its spot for a start. And I don't know what the angle's like, but the obvious thing would be to come up towards the side pocket, or I think he's going straight, has he? No, he's okay.
Well, he needs to do something. This is the kind of play that reminds me of, when you walk in the bar or something like that, people are playing 8 ball, and somebody walks up and go, who's winning? They're playing a game of who's winning. What they're asking is funny because more novice 8 ball players, they think they're winning if they have more balls in the pocket than the other guy. Oh, well, I've made 5 stripes and he's only made 1 solid, so I'm winning. And, with better players, it's the opposite. It's like making a lot of balls is no good unless you make the 8 ball. I mean, if you make a bunch of balls and miss, the other guy's going to run out and win. So it's kind of like that in this game. This is more like a who's winning game because it doesn't seem like anybody's capable of running a lot of points. So if you're up like Woody is, it's, how's Fast Eddie going to win? If he can't run 30 or 40 points, if he's only going to get up to the table and run 8 or 10 points every time, eventually Woody's going to win.
Well, the pattern in this could be Woody gets to 90 and starts the caroms, and Eddie just chases him down, and then Woody's struggling to get out again.
Well, the interesting thing is for what I'm seeing so far, Woody seems better at the carom part of it than Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie's getting he's not reading the caroms, and he's drawing the ball far too often.
I mean, the thing is this is actually a pretty good match because these guys are pretty evenly matched. I mean, obviously they haven't played a lot of Cowboy, and I mean, it's good that they're playing in the tournament because I'm sure they're going to learn something.
Yeah, they'll learn. They'll never play in another one.
Well, I mean, Tam's right. They probably have not played a lot of Cowboy, and but this is why you play in these things is to learn.
Yeah, but you see, they've been in. I mean, they're in the 1-loss side. They played, 1 or 2 matches. You'd have thought they'd have learnt something by watching what's happening in the other matches, particularly watching the way Cobra's played.
It's
an Albinario.
I don't know. I mean,
if they're not, if they're in the tournament and they're not watching them and say, well, why are they still in the winner's side? Let's watch them and see what they're doing.
Hey, learning can be difficult. I've been trying to learn how to play straight bow for a long time, and I still play it like a numpty.
Mm.
I mean, sometimes it just it doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't register the way you would think it would.
Well, we're tempting fate here, but Eddie's in 25, threatening to get to 30.
Yeah, and then this is what he needs to do. He needs to run 30, 40, 50. I mean, if he can run 30 this turn and run 30 the next turn, he's looking
let's
pretty
have a
good.
look at this. Well, there's a big gap behind that 3. That's the worry. So he needs to be sharp into the rail, I think. Yeah, he just caught it.
Well, that was a pretty big ball. That was not going to be that easy to miss. And he's going to shoot the 5 ball, which you would think he'd make this ball.
Well, I would just roll through gentle in this 5 ball. I mean, that's running away too far for my liking. He could have took a foot off that and been closer to the 5.
This is a reasonable angle to hit the 3 ball. You have to be a little thin on the 5, but it's still not terrible. I mean, I think most Cowboy players would hit this 3 ball.
Oh yeah, I mean, you hit it, but he could have been a bit more comfortable. You know, he's spending an awful lot of time looking at this.
Yeah, and that's what you got to wonder about is, you know, because when we've seen him do this in the past, then he screws up when he takes this much time.
Yeah, you see, he's at it again.
Just like that.
He's at it again. You watch the tip.
Why did you hit it so hard?
Watch the tip of the cue. You see, he's trying to draw to the 3 rather than playing just a hit on the 5 and letting the ball roll to the 3. I mean, he's doing the wrong type of shot each time.
Yeah, that kind of shot should be how much of the
5
ball am I taking?
That's it. Yeah. He's seen it wrong. He's seen it wrong each time. I'm going to have a word to him about that.
Well, the thing is the thing about that is what he did by drawing it is then he had to thin out the shot, and when you thin that shot out, it makes it harder to hit. I mean, when you get thin on the ball, the target gets smaller. The thicker you are on the ball, the bigger the target's typically going to be.
You'd also think that he's actually is he absorbing what he's doing? Is he thinking to himself, well, I've played 4 or 5 of these type of shots and I'm not getting them. What am I doing wrong? He should be beginning to work that out soon enough.
Well, I think there's a little confusion there. I mean, pool's not simple. I mean, you can chase your tail in this game. It's really not a simple game. And that's why, having some heuristics about how to play is helpful because, that helps the decision-making process. If you know that, if you know the half ball thing and 30 degrees and that anything between a quarter ball and 3/4 ball is going to be 30 to 40 degrees. If you know that, then it's like, it's simple. You can look for that every shot. Well, what happens if I hit this ball and it's on a 30-degree angle? And it's going to be a big target. And I think, the heuristic you said about being above the 1 ball or 3 ball, that's another heuristic, okay? Just simple rules to follow so you don't have to sit there and think and think and think and think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is Eddie may win this thing in spite of himself.
Now, again, I'm asking myself, why did he pot the 3 and not pot the 5?
Yeah,
the 5's hanging over the pocket. Look at what he's trying to dig out here for a carom.
Yeah, and I don't have a good answer. And he has not been good at getting the line on these kind of shots. Well, now he's going 3 to the 1, it looks like. And all this time spent, he's looking, and this has never worked out well for him all this time.
I mean, a simple 2 railer to the 5 off the 3. That's a shot to play. It's a tight space, and he's trying to stun into it.
Well, there it is again. I mean, it's It's been pretty consistent with the kind of shots he's shooting and the kind of misses he's getting.
But you could tell, Eddie doesn't play any carom games at all because that's where he's struggling.
Well, I think if he did, I mean, he's got some fairly good skills. I think if he did play some carom games, his pool game would really improve because he'd understand the line the cue ball's moving on better. And I think that's his biggest problem right now is that he doesn't understand the line the cue ball is going to roll on.
So
you notice I say roll. I mean, the most important thing in playing pool is understanding the line the ball wants to roll on. Okay. I mean, if you're going to play stun shots, then, you're understanding you're coming off at a tangent line and you can play off that tangent line.
Yeah.
But
now you see that's what Eddie's not doing. He's not. If he's drawing the ball rather than picking that tangent line for the stun.
Yeah, and but the thing is that that's sort of a secondary thing in carom games. I mean, and in pool really too. I mean the primary thing you need to learn is the line the ball rolls on. Because even after you hit a stun shot, the ball's going to end up rolling eventually.
Well, that's a big miss there by Woody. Again, not a difficult little force follow there. And it's given Eddie a chance to get into the caroms. And then presumably Woody's going to be the favourite until he gets to that one ball.
Yeah, he's had trouble with the one ball. There's no doubt about that.
Now, let me have a quick look if I can get round.
Well, this shot can definitely be missed. I don't think he should, but it could be.
Yeah.
Yep, and he did. And again, he took an awful lot of time on that.
Well, this is 5-1. Short rail, kick in behind the one, get the one into play. Nice and gentle. He's going more or less direct to it. And that's what happens. Boy. Pick the line, take the line that takes you to the short rail. It's the safest shot. It's as safe as houses. You're not going to scratch. And he's done the obvious mistake is go direct to it.
Well, that was pretty thin to get to the short rail. He might have been better off playing to the long rail. Play to a rail would have been safer. Yeah, the thing about the thinking thing is that when you start thinking, you activate your left brain, your logical side. And that is not the side of your brain that you play pool with, whether it's in real life or VP.
Well, Tam, I can probably answer that. That's why you don't have one in Cowboy in the offline game.
Oh, I could do it. I could do a Cowboy. I could do it. No, I definitely could do it.
But if it was easy, you would have done it, Tam.
Well, at the time, I didn't have a billiards opponent, which I've got one now. I wouldn't say it's very good, but I mean, for a numpty, it's great. But no, I could do a Cowboy opponent, and I could probably do a good Cowboy opponent. Am I gonna do it? I don't know.
You'd end up having Curly playing Cowboy, never missing a shot, and you wouldn't get a shot, Tam.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, the first thing I would do is start looking for lines you can roll the cue ball on that have big targets.
I was thinking Eddie was in 86. I've got up in my chair to see that he's only in 66. So,
no, this is not looking good for Eddie right now.
So, right now, He's awkward over the 3, so if he pots the 1 and just cuts it in and comes out into the middle of the table, he's going to have a long force follow from the 5 to the 1. I don't think he should be trying anything else. He's just got to take what he's got and see. Now here we go again. Let's get behind him to see what he's up to here. I mean, this is how much of the 5 ball you're taking, and he's just got top in the cue ball, so there's nothing you need to do. Now, why he can't do that with half the other shots he's played, I don't know. I mean, that there was staring you in the face, that one.
Yeah, I mean,
now I would be coming off the 5 and going that way slightly, because that way I'm on the right side and I'm looking at the 5-1 again. He's looking at his rolling. Well, that'll work, but he's now got to find the line. This is where he's got to find the line for the force follow. Now he's going feather edge again. So he's not. He is lining it up force follow.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of when you're going to when you make good choices and you have good execution.
Now,
then everything converges. Everything goes to the good. When you make bad choices and you have bad execution on top of it, everything diverges. It becomes really difficult. So, for example, if you make good choices and your execution isn't that good, you can still have some success because you're making choices that are making the target big. If you make poor choices, then the only way you can succeed is to have great execution. And, that's hard. That's hard to have.
He should be potting the 1 ball here. He's splitting the 5 and 3 here. He should be potting the 1. You've got a guaranteed carom. Now he's going to split them if he does this. And then he doesn't know where he's going to be. Now, this 1 ball is not difficult. You're coming naturally back up the table to have a shot in the 5-3.
You can get a pretty good shot you can shoot the 3 and get a pretty good shot. I think from the 5 to the 1, but it's tricky. I mean, you hit the speed wrong, and all of a sudden you don't have it.
No,
he is on the carom. He was on the carom.
Yeah. Was he on the carom? All right. Well, I apologise. I'm half asleep again.
I'm not sure why he took so long to shoot it. I mean, he's thinking just way too much right now.
Now that just needs to come through. Let's have a look. Well, this is a feather edge of the 1, and if you miss the 5, if you just get it thin enough and miss the 5, you may well chip the 3. You can't go for the long force follow here. It's a 5 to the 1 every day.
Yeah, this is a pretty safe shot.
Or the 1 to the 5, sorry.
You can't hit it too thin.
And now, you see, now he's set the 5-3 up and he's got a 1 to pot.
Well, he's on 90. He's got to shoot the 5.
Now I'm not paying attention to the score either. I should be in bed.
Yeah, but that's not the angle. But he still can keep the 5 ball there.
Well, this is as long as he doesn't.
I would shoot the 5 and draw back to the 3 because you can keep the 5 ball down on this end of the table that way. You want to try to keep the balls close together. The way he played that carom, he didn't give himself a shot that's easy to keep them close. But this will keep the ball there.
Slow up, or even if it nudges the cue ball, that'll do it.
Yeah, you don't want the cue ball in between them because now your only choice is
you've got to draw.
I would thin the 5 back into the 3 because you can keep the 5 right there.
Now, if he played the 3 ball and drew to the 5 though, and punched the 3 down and around the angles to the 1, just depends on what line he's got though.
But that's
the side
more of a
pocket.
Secondary play. I would always try to play off the 2 balls and keep them close together as long as you were giving yourself a reasonable shot afterwards. Because you can always play something like that where you're and that's just not understanding the line the cue ball is rolling on. Because you can always play that shot where you hit the ball around the table, but that's a hard shot. It's hard to get the speed right. The line isn't that bad, but getting the speed right is tough.
Well, again, Woody's missed the carom there. Eddie's not getting anything easy.
Well, this is. I wouldn't be going this way.
Now, how's the spin? Oh,
I probably would have gone with left English and gone to the long rail.
three balls. Not quite dead. If you can get in behind it.
Yeah, I'd play from the 3 to the 5 right here and get the 3 ball out of there. Play off the 3, go to the long rail. The 5's a pretty big target. Yeah, see, he played to the 1 ball. That was tough.
That's ambitious, trying to play a double kiss at that distance to get to the 1 ball.
Yeah, he had a pretty good shot, 3 to 5. Well, this will bring the 3 ball back down table.
Oh, he's going to be hampered again.
Yeah.
This is tough.
But he's got a really nice angle here to the 5 ball. That's the thing. See, he can play off the 3 to the 5. It's a very nice angle. And it's a big target. And he doesn't realize that. Instead, he's going to do some crazy draw shot.
And almost pots the 5.
And he almost makes the 5. And now the 5's dead. Well, this could be a long game with the 5 ball sitting right there. And that was a good shot. He's kept them both together. I would be thinning the 1 into the 3. So that's the problem with these draw shots. As soon as you start hitting these draw shots, now you have to get the cue ball around. You can thin the 1 and run into the 3 and keep them all right here. And he's going to do something that's going to separate the balls.
When you say thin the 1, are you going left side of the 1 where there's maybe a bit of English to bump into the 3?
Yeah. Just move the 1 over just a little bit. You can control. See, that way you can control the speed and keep the balls closer together.
Yeah.
Now this play off the 5 is almost not too bad if you can avoid the double kiss and rail 5 ball to the 1. But I think it's going to be hard to avoid the kiss. If you can avoid that kiss, this is a pretty easy shot.
Well, he's putting a little. Well, he's thinking about it.
Well, this is just a touch shot. It's not something you have to hit hard.
In fact, he hit
that a lot. He hit that a lot harder than I would have hit.
Yeah, the gentler you hit that, the more the cue ball will actually do what you want it to do.
Yeah. Well, now he's in a situation where it's going to be hard to keep them together.
Now, if these balls end up,
he's still got that shot, end rail 5 ball to the 1 ball. It's not the simplest shot in the world, but it might get the 5 ball out of there.
Well, there's another way is getting this 1 ball and 3 ball and sort of as far apart as possible, and then playing a safety and just trying to go to the left side of that 5 ball in the corner pocket with the cue ball. Let's have a look.
Yeah, that might be a smart play. Make the table tough and keep your points instead of doing something crazy and losing your points. Well, that's not bad because he doesn't have any easy play. And Woody is playing for the soft carom, and that was actually a pretty good shot. It just didn't get it.
No, ball. And you could get almost beside the 5, but unless there's a situation arises where, again, it depends on how these guys are thinking. I've seen it far too often where they plod on, and eventually the ball that's hanging over the pocket maybe gets accidentally knocked in. But there's a strategy in Cowboy where there's a time to make a move. You've got to have that thought process in the back of your mind when you're in this situation. And I don't know whether either of the two of them have got that notion about them at all. We'll find out.
Yeah, I probably would have played off the 1 to the 3 there.
Yeah,
I thought that was an easier shot.
You'll end up faffing around here for another 30 minutes trying to get 6 caroms or however many you need to get to 100.
Here we go with craziness. There we go.
And there we go. There's the 5 going in. There's the carom, and there's the carom down the pan.
That was a crazy shot.
So that's now changed it, and that's opened it up.
And here we go with the thinking.
Let's have a look and see what options are here. Well,
I think he's going to play the little stun draw from the 3 to the 1 is what he's going to end up doing.
Overcut it.
That's a pretty easy shot, and probably draw it too much.
That's what he's done. He's done it again.
He's
doing it all night. He's just not seen that shot at all.
That's a stun with at most a teeny bit of draw.
What do I say about? I mean, I talk about it often enough in any other game. I talk about the stun draw, and you've got to watch the tip of the cue. And Eddie's hitting it way too low, and he's not getting that stun draw, that more controlled shot. None of those shots have ever been controlled, and that's why he's missing them.
I just don't think he understands the line the cue ball is going to go on, so he's thinking he needs to put more low.
But there are, because Eddie hasn't played it, it does show that a big weakness there. Which again, with table time and playing the game a lot more often, he's suckered into 9-ball all the time or 10-ball, and now he's opened his eyes coming to this tournament, and he should be learning where he needs to work on, the type of shots he needs to work on.
Well, I know he likes to play straight pull, and if you want to play good straight pull, you've got to be able to roll the ball online. Straight pull is not a game where you hit stun shot after stun shot. It's a game where you roll the cue ball.
Well, Woody is never going to miss this dare attempt fate.
Yeah, this would be hard to miss. Even I don't think I could miss it.
So Woody with a 2-1 lead. Well, assuming the match started at 8 o'clock, I don't know when it started, but we're now 2 hours into it. And we've gone for the draw off the 3, and straight away, Eddie has a chance to put a score on the board here and punish Woody.
I don't know why you wouldn't shoot the 3 ball and take a roll at the 1, because you got 2 ways you can be successful. If you just go for that draw off the 3, which isn't a guaranteed shot, you've only got 1 way you can be successful.
Spud Boy, don't talk so much rubbish. I thought you played excellently in your match. The bit of it I saw against Tommy, I thought you played very well indeed. And the only thing you need is more table time and playing it more often. I'll tell you something. You adopt Cowboy as your game as a preference over 9-ball or 8-ball for a period of time. Give it 6 months, because I saw a lot of promise in how you played the other night. There are players worse than you going around, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm going to practice some more on my table, because I'm sure it's going to help my pool game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Spud Boy was actually scoring, 20s and 30s, and he was keeping them. And he wasn't doing stupid stuff. Some of the stuff I get up to. And I thought I was actually well impressed. You go and watch that video, Spud Boy. You'll not hear me criticising you a great deal in that match, because I thought he played very sensible. If I see crap, I'll call it as crap, and if I see good, I'll say it's good, and it was good. So you don't need to give up on Cowboy. You just need to give it a bit more.
And this is sitting well to be on an easy carom.
Now I'll just cut the 5 and get out. Yeah. And that's good enough line. mean, this is already 21 on the board, working with this 5 ball. Now, where's he going? He's going force follow. Got to keep the ball in play, though, and he has done.
Yeah, see, I would always tend to play off the 3 ball there.
Yeah, I would have done the same, yeah.
Easier shot.
Yeah. Well, Eddie's going by my philosophy here, but he's not. He's looking at the 5 ball first for the 1. It's 3 to the 5 every day of the week. Now let's see what he does. He's down in the cue ball again. This is just how much of the 3 ball you take.
Yeah, it's at a very nice angle.
Plain ball. You don't need to do anything with the tip of the cue. Just plain ball and let it roll.
There he goes.
Now is he blocked off? No, he's opened it up. Well, you get rid of the 3 and you're laughing. Now he's looking at the 5, but you don't even look at the 5. Just cut the 3, go back over to the right. Well, he's staying left side, but either or, as long as he can open up the shot. Now, even this shot, you've still got to think about how I'm playing this carom. It's not just a case of hit the 5 and hit the 1, but you want to keep a ball in play here.
Yeah, well, you want a shot, preferably on the 5 ball.
Yeah, so a little nudge and send it over the pocket, get it back out, and you've got a 5 to the 3. I mean, it should be as plain as the nose in your face.
It's not. It's obviously not, because he's struggling to figure out how to shoot these shots.
Well, I can't believe how the hell has he missed that. Let's have a look at that again.
But
Let's watch the replay of that last
he doesn't understand the line the ball's going to roll on.
I don't know why. What was he trying?
Force following that there.
Why was he trying to? I can't work it out. I mean, you just hit enough of that 5 ball to send it near the pocket and chip the 1.
Well, this is going to be the greatest thing in the world for him, though, because he's going to. Hopefully, he's going to keep playing this game, and he's going to figure out the line the cue ball goes on, and watch out for how much better his pool game gets, because I think you're going to see him take a huge jump in his pool game from what he's going to learn in Cowboy.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Spud Boy had to go to bed at that time. But up until then, it was good. Maybe the fatigue was setting in. But that is a big missed opportunity there for Eddie, because there's that carom there that he had was unmissable, but he somehow found a way to miss it.
Yeah, when the balls were close together like that, that's near impossible to miss. But he did it.
Well, it's not impossible if he could answer the question is what the hell was he trying to do with the 5 ball at the time? That's what I would like to know. And just
Woody's got himself funny here.
Yeah,
this is not what you want. He played a good shot though, and I'm sure he's going to shoot the 1 ball here.
Yeah, I'd be shooting the 1 ball and still trying to run 3 rails into the 5 to get it out into the table. But he's trying to stay below the 1 for the 1 to the 5.
See, that's the half ball hit there. He was a little bit funny on it, but just hit it a little harder and make it loop more.
And Eddie should be sitting there thinking, well, these are all mine. All of these points are his.
When you get on those kind of 1/4 to 3/4 ball hits, you can adjust them a little just by the speed you hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you're rolling the ball or have the Q-tip above center, hitting it harder is going to make it loop out more. Hitting it easier is going to make it go through more. And when you're drawing the cue ball, it's going to be drawing the cue ball is going to be more effective when you're using a thicker hit.
Now he needs to give a bit of thought to this because
really that's true for going forward too. The thinner you go, the less top and bottom are going to do for you.
Because I thought for a second there he was contemplating potting the 3 ball. He did do the right shot in the end.
Well, he's a little funny here, but this is not a hard carom, but he missed it.
I can't believe he's missing these. I thought
Well, again,
I thought Woody was quite good at Cowboy to have seen some of these misses.
It's how much of the ball he's taken, and that was way too thin.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit it. The speed was fine. I mean, but he just hit it way too thin.
Maybe in his defence, he hasn't been playing a lot of the Cowboy in the 10-footer touries. I thought he was. I thought he was a regular. Good evening to Sharky.
Don't be afraid to go parabolic. Yeah, that is true. The cue ball is going to curve.
I really love how that streamer is responding to chat. What did I miss? Have I missed something in the chat? Well, Eddie back at the table.
All right. Well, I mean, this is pretty simple.
Well, even this shot here, you're trying to take as much of that 5 ball as you can just to push it to the pocket and then pot it. And again, that was way too
out of control.
Way too hard. You know.
Yeah.
If you're thinking there, you want to take as much of the 5 ball so that you're pushing it directly towards the corner pocket. You pot the 5, then you've got a 5-1, no problem.
Yeah, well, you're talking about controlling both balls, and that obviously is not the thought train here.
See, that's probably for some players, taking it to that next level. What Eddie's worried about is actually making the carom, but you have to then move up to that phase where you're being productive. That's how you get runs together. You've got to think about where you're nudging that ball to, because each time you make a carom, you've obviously got to keep a ball in play somewhere that you've got a pot. And that was a perfect example there where he could rest assured he would have probably had the 5, no problem, knowing that he had the 5-1 to back it up after he'd potted it.
I think all you guys ought to do all the practice drills when semi-pro gets them put up, or routines or exercises or whatever you choose to call
them. This is just, again, how much of the 5 you take. Feather edge and just let it roll.
Oh.
See, a feather edge in that meant that the 5 ball was staying well in play. He hit that too hard.
all you can do is laugh sometimes. It's just.
Oh dear, it's that time of night. I mean, again, who knows what Woody's been doing? Maybe he's had a full day's work and it's 10:15 at night, so he's probably desperate to get to bed.
Work or 5 bong hits or who knows.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Almost missed that one. And the same thing, too thick again. He's pretty consistently been like that.
Well, this shows you how. I mean, it does show you how tough Cowboy is on this 10-footer, and it's tough, especially when you don't have that table time and you haven't had that long-term experience of playing it.
For a guy that's been too thick, he hits that 5 ball easier. Okay, so he didn't go for the edge that time, which I think was a smarter play. I mean, he should be wearing this 5 ball out. Shoot the 5 ball again, wear it out. Where that 3 or 1 is, there's just so many caroms you can play off the 5 after this. He should just be wearing this layout out.
Well, again, this is a straight
5 to the 1 is the simplest shot in the world.
Straightforward.
I don't know if he's going to shoot it.
Straightforward.
5 to the 1. It's about a 30-degree angle.
Yeah, and a third of the 5 ball, and the tangent line takes you direct to the 1.
You can either do a quarter ball hit or a 3/4 ball hit. Either one is going to take it right at the 1. half ball is maybe a little bit too much, but
now this is fine. Get the one ball on its spot. Just chip it from the left edge and come out up into the table. Do not play anything else other than pot the one. Because, I mean, you've got to just pot the one, chip it, bring the cue ball up to here, and you've got a simple 3 to 5. Or even dead slow, you've got a 3 to 5 above it.
Yeah, it's not wise to leave the one ball there. Oh boy, this is hit way hard.
I'm baffled as to that thought process, because this is asking for trouble here.
Yeah, this is not what you want. I mean, he's going to stun this. This shot.
Look! There we go. That deserves one of them.
Well, he's having to hit it that hard.
I mean, talk about predicting the outcome. I mean, if he'd done what I said, not a problem. Not a problem.
He did do what you said. He just hit it way hard.
Oh, dear. I mean, this is where
all you have to do is hit the one ball easy, and the cue ball is close to those balls.
You know, can you imagine this was a real-life pool hall, and I was in this watching Fast Eddie? I would have had him over in the corner.
Oh, no. Hey, I'll tell you what.
And I would have been shaking him down and saying, look, what the hell are you doing here?
I've watched guys play like this for, thousands of dollars. And I'll tell you what, it's exciting. When you watch people gamble for a lot of money and they do a lot of crazy stuff, it's really exciting. Because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, just like this. We just don't know what's going to happen here.
And this is sitting really well for easy caroms. I would have taken that up above the 5 ball, but this will still work. I mean, it would have been so much easier if you got above the 5.
Oh, there we go. There's the porn links in the chat. It's been a while since I've been there.
Good. Yeah, we've been waiting for those. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure he can handle this one, and he's going to get the pot too.
Now, what's the angle in the 5? See, this is just a gentle drift through, no more like that. Just like that.
Doing. And now you make the 5 and carom the 1. I'd be shooting a 5 every time here. I don't get that. Why not shoot the 5 too? Be greedy. It's right there. You can't miss the carom.
I didn't get behind it soon enough to see what the potting line was like in the 5.
It was perfect. It was perfect. It was an easy shot. I mean, I can understand when guys say, "Oh no, don't do that," because you're risky and screw it up. But not when it's like that. I mean, that's so simple. You can't mess it up. No. I think when you're on the carom and you have a shot where it's easy to pot the ball and make the carom, you should do it every time.
Well, let's just get the 3 ball out of there. Yeah, he's going to the 1. The 3 ball still in there, and luckily the 5 ball still in play, because that could have ended up in the short rail at the end of the table there.
Well, what's he doing? He's deciding not to shoot the 5 ball, and he's missing the 1. That's just nobody wants to win this match, or that's how it seems, anyways.
Well, I mean, I suppose the other thing to remember there, Steve, is we're so busy looking at all the bad stuff that's going on. Actually, Woody had a run of 40 there, and I think he was more concerned about keeping the points and not doing anything daft. But I mean,
well, he could have got so much more.
Yeah, the pot wasn't difficult, but I think he was getting a bit scared.
Well, I'm getting tempted to go click on the porn link.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it disappeared for a while. I don't know what you do to get rid of it, but that's down to YouTube. If YouTube were properly managed, they would deal with that shit, and people wouldn't have that in their streams.
You'll never get rid of porn. Yeah. Porn will live on forever.
Yeah, but they should have an algorithm or whatever the hell it is to stop that type of thing happening in the chat.
Yeah, well, they could have that for spam phone calls and spam emails.
No,
it hasn't happened.
I've just thought of something. Do you think if I made my channel for kids only, because you can do that whenever you're doing a live stream on YouTube, you can choose to say that it's suitable for kids. Now, do you think that would prevent the porn links? But then again, they probably do you for having a supposedly suitable for kids, and then Stubb comes in and starts all his bullshit. And then I get banned because of him. Well, I think Eddie has got to take a big chunk of this here to improve his chances in this rack.
It's funny. He seems to understand the real thin hits, and he seems to understand the real thick hits. It's the ones in between. The ones that are actually pretty easy between a quarter to three-quarter balls are the ones that he's struggling with. If he's got a thin hit, he does it pretty good. And if he's got a thick hit, he does it pretty good.
Watch this 5. Oh, he's potting a 5, hasn't he? It's a pot.
Yeah. See how he sets himself up here.
Really, really struggling. Again, you could say he's taking his eye off it because he's more concerned about where he was putting the cue ball. But
well, that's why I keep saying nobody wants to win this. It's not because they didn't run points. It's because the shots they're missing are shots where you're like, you got to be kidding. I mean, it's like dogging it. That's the problem. It's just like, that's just a dog missing that 5 ball. I've seen Eddie play a lot of pool, and that's not a ball he should be missing.
Well, I don't know whether maybe the angle's not perfect to bump the 1 when potting the 3 into the side. I don't think it is.
I'd shoot the 5 and run into the 3 every time here. But I'm greedy. I like keeping the table open if it's simple to do.
I think this is not great.
No, but it's not a terrible go from the 5 to the 1. 5 end rail into the 1. That's not a hard line to run on. The 1's a huge ball. But these are the lines that Eddie struggles with. These are the ones he's not sure of because it's not a thin line and it's not a thick line. It's just, it's like a half ball hit, maybe a little thinner than that. All right, well,
he's got it this time.
He made the ball.
Well, that's the first one he's done.
So that's a bonus.
Well, 1 on it, spot 1 to 3.
That's what he's going to do.
Now again, try and hit that 3 ball full in the face, just gentle enough but full in the face so that you're putting it in its spot next. And would you believe it? He's found a way to miss it.
Well, it's the same thing. He's
incredible.
Those intermediate ones is where he's getting confused. Real thin or real thick, he's not.
Yeah, I think I'm at fault for expecting a lot more from Eddie and disrespecting the fact that he doesn't really play a lot of this because the things he's missing, I'm thinking that it's easy, and that's probably me that's at fault for that.
He's got to take it as an opportunity because here's the thing is, everybody's going to have some issues depending on their skill level, on their familiarity with the game. So, but what you want to take away from this when you get done is you don't want to go, well, I know I didn't play that good. I lost. I don't play this game. And then, go have a beer and come back the next day and play 9 ball. That's not the approach to getting better. What you want to do is use this as an opportunity to learn. Realize that you don't do certain things well and work on them.
Yeah, that 3 ball took a nudge from the 1 there. He had the right idea, but it was really tight.
Well, Eddie's got a nice chance here to get back in this. Go ahead and just shoot the 3 ball. You could shoot the 1 ball and keep the table open. That would be okay too.
I don't know why he's looking around. You know, pot the 3. Oh goodness me! What the hell is he trying to do here?
It's the thinking. I'm telling you.
He is overthinking it.
Yeah, the left brain is engaged and he's just gone goofy. Oh, he's lucky he didn't scratch there. Yeah, he's goofy because this is what happens when you let your left brain get in control. And it's the natural thing. You know, it's the natural thing that people do. Imagine if you were driving down the street and here comes a corner and you start like getting a little bit nervous about, well, how do I go around this corner? And you start thinking, I'm going to move the steering wheel 20 degrees. No, 23. No, 21.
Yeah.
And here you're coming up on this corner thinking like that. Well, you're going to be lucky if you don't crash into something.
Is that before or after you hit the fire hydrant, Steve?
And that's not how people drive. You know, people drive.
No, it's autopilot.
They don't think about. And that's how you've got to play pool. When you're thinking a pool, it's, you know, you're going to crash and burn just like you would in your car.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something. When I made the decision I was going to learn to drive, and this was back in '92, and it was it actually came about when my father was in hospital. He was well, he didn't come out of hospital, put it that way, and I had to travel out to the hospital. I had to get 2 buses to get there, and I thought, this is shit. I need to get wheels. So anyway, to cut long story short, I was talking to one of the ladies when I worked in Curry's. We sold TVs, wash machines, and everything. And I said, I'm thinking of learning to drive. She actually gave me the contact number of the guy that the driving instructor that taught her and her family. So try this guy. All right, fair enough. And I remember him saying to me, she said to me, oh, and then she was giving me all the encouragement. You know something? Oh, it's nothing. I said, I've never been behind the wheel of a car, let alone drive one. Because all her family had been in the car, and her dad, the dad was teaching them the basics. Anyway, she said, you know, I come to work some mornings and I don't know how I got here. And I can understand that now. Because you go in the car and everything's just autopilot. Your feet are in control of what they're doing. You know, the gear stick, that everything just works like that. And Cowboy, in any game, when you played it often enough, it's exactly the same. Everything should be autopilot. But
here we go again. He doesn't understand the line from the 5 to the 3.
Yeah, let's have a look.
It's not a hard hit from the 5 to the 3.
No, I mean, this is half ball, I think, on the 5.
You can do that, or you can take a thick line. You know.
Well, this is good though. This is good.
Was good.
I like that one.
All the thinking paid off. You know, here you would be. You would fit in very well in the South. You'd be like a duck in the water if you moved to the South, because that the story you just told, the quote short story. That's a Southerner's idea of a short story.
10 minutes.
Said, she said. We did. She said. He said.
Yeah, I get carried away listening to myself. Oh dear, there we go. Well, after that shot, he plays that one. Well, at least he's kept his points. You know, he's on 92.
Well, give him credit. He played one nice shot. I mean, that's the thing is it's a learning process, and it's just you can't learn when you're playing in a match because all the thinking will just kill you.
One Pocket of Slim says, I do that with roundabouts.
Yeah. You've gone around it about 5 or 6 times.
Scared to make the move.
You're not sure where to get off.
Oh, dear. She must be great living in the States because every road's straight and it's got 6 lanes.
Oh,
I mean, it's so simple.
Oh, no. Not at all.
I mean, I don't know why cars in the States have steering wheels because you just drive everywhere straight. You know?
No, not at all.
And of course, the reason you've got 6 lanes is because each driver needs their own lane and 2 lanes either side of them so they don't run into each other.
I will tell you, the place that I've been where people drive in traffic the best is Los Angeles because they're used to it.
Oh, yeah.
I moved to the South, and it got scary how people drive.
Yeah. Or you move into one of, you drive in one of those countries where there are rules, but nobody pays any attention to them. Somewhere like France or Italy. I mean, I've seen some of the drivers there, and they've got not a clue.
Oh, that what do you call it? That giant traffic circle around the statue that's about it's about 100 yards wide in each direction.
What the Champs Elysees, the Arc de Triomphe, the big
not where the Arc de Triomphe is. There's another one where there's like a statue in the middle of it, and it's like it's like a huge square, and it's just like chaos in there, the way people drive around that thing. It's in France. I can't remember the name of it. Well, Vegas has just got terrible traffic if you're on the Strip. That's crazy there. You got to know how to get around Vegas on the back streets. You can't drive down the Strip. That's just insane. Or the first snowfall anywhere. Well, especially places that are not used to it snowing.
Well, we only need an inch of snow, and that's chaos.
If you live someplace where it doesn't snow that much, when it does, it's carnage. Oh boy, that was not a hard carom, but he missed it.
Well, Woody has got this match won unless Eddie can pull it out the fire.
Well, I like going 2 rails into the 5. He's looking like he wants to stun over, which he hasn't been good at anyways.
Well, if I'm trailing like this, I'm going 2 for 1 shot here, a 2 and 1. I'm going for the 5, and I'm going for the 1 if I miss the 5.
Oh, I would never hit it that hard.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the risk. Eddie's listening.
Formula.
Eddie's listening. That's how you get yourself out of a hole, or how you end up in flames.
That's how you scratch in the corner pocket. I can't believe you think that's a good shot.
Well, it is when you're desperate, and Eddie's desperate. He had to go for the 2 and 1, and you're never going to end up in good shape like this isn't. But I would still go 5. I would still go 5 to 1. Well, he's played the draw.
Watch out! Watch out!
And now he's backed into a corner. Well, the danger here is thin cutting the 5 on the right side to get to the 1, because you're simply setting up an easy out here for Woody. He needs to watch that. If he plays that shot to get to the 1, he has to get it or he's dead.
He can't leave the 1 ball there.
No.
Not unless he can get a hook, because that's just going to be way easy. Of course, Woody needs 2 points before he gets to the 1 ball.
Yeah, but the 2 points could be so easy if Eddie makes the wrong move here.
I'm not sure what I do here. I might try to play off the 5 to the 3, because you get on the backside of the 3 with some speed, and you cannot scratch, and you'll get the 3 out of the pocket. I think I'd play the stun into the between the long rail, the short rail and the 3 ball. But he's got top. I don't think you can get there with top unless you hit it really hard. No, he's going to stun it. Well, and he didn't stun it enough. That might be the first time he ever did that, where he was on didn't stun it enough.
Well, that's pretty safe. I don't think Woody's going to do much with this. You try to bump that 1 out of the way, and you need to convince me.
You can come off the back of it, maybe. It's not sitting great to do that, but you might be able to do that with a lot of spin. And bump the 5. Well, you had to come off the back of the 1 and get it out of the way.
Well, we could be another hour at this.
No, you can carom this real easy, like dink. I mean, dinky, dinky, dink. It's hard to hit it this easy is the problem. He did.
Well, he ain't hitting any more, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. This is where you go up table somehow. You might still be able to come back into that.
No,
But
no, no.
It's got to be so easy. I mean, it's not worth giving up the point you just got.
No, no. Stay well away from that. Now, he doesn't like to try and get too clever here. Bit of right English on this and feather the one.
He could just wedge these in a pocket, hit the cue ball into the tit and wedge it against the 5.
No,
that might not be a bad shot.
Well, if he
just
doesn't,
wedge him in the pocket.
yeah, but if he doesn't move that one ball, he might be giving Woody some sort of shot to get a carom. Yeah, he wants.
If you wedge the cue ball against the 5, what's he gonna do?
Well, I know what I would have already played what I'm talking about. Right English, very thin in the 1 and off that rail and up into this corner. If I scratch, it doesn't matter.
Actually, you could play off the 1 ball off the tit and maybe get the 5, but I just wedge the cue ball in there. Wedge the cue ball in there, let him deal with it. Yep, that's not a bad shot. He does have a play to this 3 ball, though.
Well, I'd actually be just rolling behind the 3 here. That's what I would do. Eddie's hanging on by his fingertips here. One wrong move.
That's actually may not be a bad play, is rolling behind the 3 ball.
I mean, it would give. See, Eddie should be doing that, because if he does, it's forcing Woody to maybe move the 3 somewhere a little bit better than where it is.
The thing is that you can't really get behind it. The 3 ball is going to separate. You can block everything. You can't roll behind it, though.
No,
so
you would have
had to hit it off the rail and in front of the cue ball. You couldn't get behind it just rolling it. But, still, even doing this is not an easy situation. Now, I'd be shooting at this every time.
Yeah.
Off the long rail and, hit it slow, because that 5 ball's hanging.
Yeah, the problem is if he chips that 1, he might actually nudge that 5 in.
Well, that's why I'd hit it slow.
He's going to go behind it, I think. He's going to go behind it, is he?
That was pretty fast,
that was close.
Okay, well, he's got a carom. I'd probably play to the end rail. He's gonna play right at it, and he's gonna get there.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's on 99.
So now Eddie can't pot the 5 ball, because that's taking a huge risk trying to get the 5 ball in play. It's not a tactically good maneuver to go anywhere near it.
He's got a reasonable play from the 3 to the 1.
He can have a go at it.
That's not a bad. This is just mainly a lot of spin.
Yeah, that left English working.
You gotta hit a lot of spin, because you gotta hit the 3 a little thin so you don't double kiss it. But it's very easy to open this up. You can open this too much if you're not careful.
Oh, he's not hit it.
Yeah, he's so worried about the 5. Well, if I'm Woody, I'm playing off the 1 here and getting the 1 out of there. See,
the 5's going now, and Eddie's got a chance.
Yeah. Well,
that's a mistake that Eddie's waiting on. He's got to go for it now.
I would have played off the 1 ball to the 3. Because then you get the 1 out of there. If you make the carom, you get a chance.
Right.
Of course, if Eddie doesn't perform, I think it's going to be over pretty quick.
Well, he's frightened of the 5 to the 3. He's gone 5 to 1. Now he needs a lucky roll. That is it. Oh.
He's playing the wild man shot.
He can go 3 to 5 if he's brave.
Yeah, I like 3 to 5. I like 3 to 5 a lot. That's a pretty easy shot, I think.
2 rails.
Yeah. It's a big ball going 2 rails. Could you miss it? Yeah. Would it be hard to miss? Yeah.
He keeps putting it off.
Well, every time he gets in thinking mode like this, it's usually something bad happens.
He's trying to stun to it. Yeah. And again.
See, there we go again. Thinking mode, and he screws up.
And I think you'll see Woody go for it. I think he'll go for the 3 to the 5.
I would think so.
Well,
I mean, it's a natural shot.
He's thinking about it. But that's a shot to go. In fact, even if you put a bit more spin on it, you might hit the 1.
I just can't believe that. Not looking at that shot.
Going for the old draw.
Well, that'll work.
Takes him to 100.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to do the follow shot here. The thin shot is too thin.
This is a bit in between where he is. Let's have a look.
He's trying to. I don't like the thin shot. Yeah, he's doing the through shot. That I like. Yep,
and well done. So
congratulations, Woody.
Thank God that's over. That's 20 minutes to 11. So Woody is through.
A long match.
That was torture. I wish I'd stayed watching the snooker, to be honest with you. I wish I'd done that and never came in.
Well, hopefully those guys, go back and watch the stream and then think about it a little. I mean, especially Eddie, because I think he could get a lot out of that match. I think he could get better. I mean, that's the thing is I know we were kind of overly critical of those guys, but the thing is it's taking it as a learning opportunity. Believe me, in real life, I've done the dumbest stuff you've ever seen and lost thousands of dollars. And you can either cry in your milk or you can go home and practice that shot and think about what you did and try to get better. And I think those guys definitely have a chance to get better.
Right. Well, thanks to Steve for joining. Thanks to everybody for joining in. I don't know when I'll see you again, guys. Probably next Friday. Anything tomorrow night, very unlikely if there's anything gets scheduled, because that's me busy right up until Christmas now. So
yeah, I think we've got. Don't we have at least one match that needs to be scheduled?
Well, the one between Albinario and Wanwa, that's still up in the air unless it's changed.
That one has to get done, and LS3 unless that one gets reset. She's through.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen there, but anyway, so I'll see you next Friday because I'll be there for the one between Tam and VP Monster, and that's at 5:30, I think, next Friday afternoon my time. So until then, I'll bid you all good night, and if I don't see you again, have a happy Christmas and etc. etc. Right. So take care, guys. We will see you later.
Change the laws of physics.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.